Got you guys in tight today, eh? This must be big today.
Nice sight. That's good. I guess the team's awaiting Zach Kassian's hearing and possible suspension. Just as a coach, you have a player going through that, and especially for what he did, trying to stand up for himself. Just sort of how are you?
We'll let the league talk to the league before we're going to make any comment on it. It's not a good hit. It's a hit that I thought was trying to get out of the game, but we'll see how it goes.
Just what you have a player like Kassian, his response and just how he plays in general. What has that meant to you? What have you seen from him as a coach?
He's a hard player. Competes hard. You know, he's a hard player to play against.
Or you said something about you wished you would have taken a number after Saturday's game, more time to think about.
I wish we would have killed the penalty, right? Kill the penalty. That's, but it's a tight game. There's times when you should take care of it, but we kill the penalty. It's no problem.
So does Archibald draw in there then?
We'll see what happens after. We got to go through the. I don't think it's set in stone that there's a suspension yet. So
if he is suspended, it will be Archibald.
We got a couple different options we talked about this morning.
So how difficult is it then to, obviously there's not a like-minded player to play with Connor than Zach. I mean, whoever you play there doesn't play the game like Zach plays. So.
Well, there's been some other players play there a little bit this year too. There's a lot of people itching to play there.
Yeah.
Maybe lots of people stepping up.
What do you want to see from Kara when you don't play him against Calgary? Obviously, that's a sign that you didn't like the way he was playing.
Yeah, he just a little more impact on the game. He's got to be stronger on the puck, but just a little more impact on the game.
You went 3-1-1 on the road. Your home record is not as impressive as your road record. You're coming back here. You've got 20 of your last 35 games here, including all 4 games left in January. When you started the year, you won your first 5. It looked like you were the team had committed to, making this and themselves a tough place to play. Mm-hmm. And then that all went away. Can you discuss where you were, where you are, and where you have?
We're going to put them all in hotels here night before the game. No, you know what? When you play on the road, you play a simple, direct style. You're kind of, you have to be all in. And at home, you can tend to get fancy a little bit. You can want to put on a show for your fans, and the best show you can put on for your fans is to win. Just win, right? And early on, we defended a little better. I think what happened, there were some games here that I thought we got chasing the game early, that when you chase the game, you're behind. Usually on the road, you're playing a real disciplined, straightforward game, and that's the kind of game that when we're at our best, that's how we play. So it's we have to have that mindset coming home. Wherever we play, it doesn't matter. But on the road, you tend to get that mindset just from your surroundings.
The most confusing stat of all to me is, how good your penalty killing is at home and at the other end of the league on the road.
Yeah.
You have a theory that covers that?
No, I think there's some, the structure is the same. I think we've given up some goals that we've been a little tighter on the road, a little tighter in net on the road at times. So I wish I had an answer for that, but there's been some games. I know we gave up two against St. Louis in a game that were both just simple deflections that sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't. So there's been some ones at home that you'd like to either get a save on, or you feel like that there's not much you can do with it, so you line it up. Yeah, but again, on the road, just seems like you have that little tighter mindset. Everything is tighter. You can't give anything up, and that's the mindset we have to get no matter where we play.
And with going forward, it seems like just about not every game, but pretty much every game that you play have playoff implications, certainly for yourself. Mm-hmm. But quite often you're playing somebody like Nashville that's chasing you, or somebody like Phoenix or Arizona you're trying to, climb up to, and that sort of thing. How good is that for this hockey club at this point to be in those?
Great. It's great. We talked about it as a group this morning. It's where you want to be, because to be a playoff team, you have to earn the right to be a playoff team. And when everything is bunched up as tight and there's so many teams involved, if you get into the playoffs, you've earned your way in. And that's what we have to do. You're not going to get in just by squeaking through. You're going to have to earn your way in, because there's so many teams that are going to be in play. So if we want to become a playoff team, and if we want to be a team that can be successful in the playoffs, this run going on is going to give us the opportunity to earn that, right? So it's a big part of growing as a team, and I think we've come a ways the first half, but the second half is really going to tell where we're at, and our group is focused on that.
Dave, the energy level for your group, it's appeared to be waning at the end of December, and you've got it going again. You can see it in the practice today, another good practice. You can see it in the games. What do you think you did best on this road trip that's going to help set you up for this 4-game homestand?
You know what? I think that just the break, we were dragging a little bit in December there before Christmas. We were dragging. We got into the break, came out and got spanked pretty good coming that first game. Then we had 3 real good practices after that. And I don't know whether it was a halfway point or the few days break, or there was a flip of the switch. Okay, we gotta get this back going the right way. So when you don't have practice time, you're balancing that, trying to keep players fresh and not having you can only do, you can do it on video, you can do it, but it's just, there's something about getting in a practice and having just short battles that draw you into the game. And our schedule wasn't allow us to do that as much as we want. Now we've got it back where we've had some good practices. We tweaked a couple things in those 3 days, just some things at the halfway point that I was actually thinking about them for a couple weeks before, but you don't have practice time to put them in, So all in all, the trip was pretty good. Buffalo, we were all right. You'd like to get the win there. Thought we played real well in Boston. Toronto was an exciting game. Connor had a great game that game, and an entertaining game. Montreal, I didn't think we played very well, and we still won. And the Calgary game is a competitive game, but I thought we could have played better in Calgary. So there's still lots to work on. You like some of the things where we're at, but there's still lots to work on. And just like we were talking about, we got a lot of work to earn ourselves a playoff spot. So that's our guys are looking forward to that challenge.
Dave, your depth scoring has really picked up here the last 8 weeks. And Archibald and Shahan are veterans, maybe just getting comfortable. But Nygaard and Haas, can you talk about what you've seen in their development of just getting used to playing in the NHL? And I know they're older rookies, but they're still rookies. And what you've liked specifically from those two, maybe in the last 6 weeks, that just what maybe wasn't there to start the year?
Well, they're just getting to know how to play over here. It's a big adjustment, and it's actually, I like that they're a little more veteran guys because they understand work ethic and they understand structure of the game. But in actual fact, there's some things that work against them because their habits they've played pro over there for 5 years. Their habits are on the big rink. Their habits are doing like that. So, the old saying, can't teach an old dog new tricks kind of thing. There's some of that coming into play. So there's some stuff that they really had to kind of break the mold on to get to know how to play over here. And a lot of it comes to do with time and space. Just time and space, and over there, you can swing wide in the corners and nobody's going to hit you. Here, there's corners are a little tighter and people want to hit you, right? So that's a big change for players coming over. So there's an adjustment there. I think both of them have adjusted well. I think Nygaard is going to be a real good NHL player because he has tenacity. I'd still like to see him do a little more with the puck. And Haas is a real smart player. He figures things out, but it takes some time and takes some experience to do that. So both of them have come a long way here, and they still got some space to grow, but they're both.
Ultimately, as you look as a growth of your bottom 6, you talked earlier how you wanted them to kind of be your penalty care out. You had Draisaitl and Nugent Hopkins kind of as a second pair. Is that ideal for you, or would you like another bottom guy to use?
Some other guys. Haas, we've talked about getting involved in that a little more. Yamo is a good penalty killer in Bakersfield that can get into it. You know, we're coming into one game there in Calgary. I just went with somebody that has done it before for it this year. So, but there'll be some people added in there as we go along here.
Benning looks like he's ready to play, but why is he
Close.
not ready to play?
Close. He's got some more tests, I think, tomorrow that he's got to go through. So he hasn't been officially cleared yet.